Live. All right. Oops, I gotta fix your name. But yeah, Rizzuto is definitely up here. He lives like they were operating in my neighborhood for a minute. I don't know about. They're all like clean now. Like they
Did
went.
you uh did you watch Bad Blood on Netflix?
Shoot, I don't remember if I watched that.
Oh my god, bro, you gotta watch it.
I'm gonna check that. I might have though. I'm really, but I've definitely read every Wikipedia and news article I could find on them, cause they like
Oh hell yeah.
up here. But yo, welcome, Mr. Frankie Gambino. Welcome to the Bridge the Gap show. My name is Holden Stephan Roy. I'm basically just a show where we take interesting people such as yourself and we try to walk through the story of your life and extract some knowledge nuggets along the way in order to kind of better our overall experiences and thus bridge the gap. So to get things started, I do have like a big proper opening question, but before that, to make sure it makes sense, can you just introduce yourself briefly and let them know where you come from, like where you start your life?
No doubt, man. I'm Frankie G, Frankie Gambino, aka Little Sicily. I'm from St. Louis, but my bloodline go all the way back to Sicily in Italy. So uh shit, I'll just I guess you could say I'm a recording artist, rapper. I've been doing this for a while. I don't like saying rapper. I like saying recording artist because people say, "Oh, you a rapper?" Yeah, but you know, but that's about it, man. I mean, shit.
So you born?
You
Are you
you
born in St. Louis? Or are you born
no
in Sicily? So
Sicily.
you're born in Sicily.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But I came here when I was really little. So my I was about 2.5, 3 when I
Mm,
came. So
don't really remember much, but technically born there.
well, I went back in 2008.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that, but it's important where we start. So we can say for the sake of your memories, it's like St. Louis, right?
Yeah, no doubt. All St. Louis.
Awesome. So with that, I got my like proper opening question. It's a bit of a story. When it lands, you can kind of take it and answer it, and we'll get on with the real conversation.
All right.
Starts with my girlfriend. She washing the dishes one time, and she's got her phone playing, and it's that Black Eyed Peas song. I got a feeling. Ooh. She's like
Yeah,
vibing.
yeah.
She's doing her thing. She's dancing, and I'm looking at her, and I'm going, when the fuck did this song become chores music? Like I was looking. When did this happen? Like this song is now a track that people will put on when they're doing dishes. They're gonna go work out, go for a run. When they're gonna go do some, let's say, boring stuff, and they want to go back to like a happier place in time, they go throw on a track like this now. And why I picked that track in particular is because I can think back like 10 years when we was in like the clubs and the bars, and when that song would come on, it would be like the highlight of the night, anthem moment. Everybody fucking jumping around, drunk as fuck. 10 years goes
Yeah.
by, the song doesn't change at all because it's a song, but the context of our lives changes so much that now it's gone from like club music to like chores music, which I thought was a wild thing, and it happens to like everyone. So like if you
Yeah.
think about the little ones, they're all 20 doing their thing. In 10 years, 15 years, they're all gonna be doing chores to this music the way that we're doing chores to their club music. It's kind of what happens when you hear it. You just kind of,
Man, people nowadays people be doing chores to Little Dirk.
that's what I'm saying, because
You know what I'm
it's
saying? They
what it
be
is.
doing they be doing chores to drill music.
It's a good music to do chores to. Um,
I mean, I'd be getting, cleaning the house, listening to Chief Keef and shit.
So that's what I mean, though. It kind of like has that evolution. And why I think about that is because as artists, you watch these interviews, you watch everything. Everybody kind of starts their story when they're in that early adolescent phase, like the I discovered hip hop when I found this record. I started writing at this
Right.
point. But if you think about like music and our histories, it's kind of much bigger than just when we got into hip hop or when we started caring about music. It's like music's kind of always been around us. Like there was a good chance when you come out in the hospital, there's some song playing in the room and you're already kind of absorbing some of that. And I say that because I can remember being like 5. Like my dad's got all these gray boxes in the apartment, like the fucking tape deck and the amplifier and the radio with the wires going out to all these speakers
Oh
everywhere,
yeah, the whole system.
all of it. and he would run these like Zeppelin tapes and stuff like that at some parts of the day. At nighttime though, it was like this live techno music straight from the clubs in Montreal. That would be that
I
vibe.
love that. I love that stuff.
And then my mom's had like more discos and musicals, and she was on her soft rock vibe and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of like made me realize all of these different sounds and environments and situations, I had no control over it, right? Like my parents, everybody around me chose what was going on. But also that stuff really impacted me all the way to being like a full grown adult and in my influences and taste as an artist today. So with that, I hope you could bring us back to being the youngest Frankie G you could remember being in St. Louis, and tell us a little bit about what it sounded like to be you growing up. Not just like the music, but like the vibes, the technologies. Like bring us back to being young and walk us through a bit of that experience.
Well, first of all, I was born in '95,
Mm.
so that's definitely hip hop era. Um, I've my dad really got me onto to hip hop because he would be listening to Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, and that just sparked my whole passion for music. And then 8 Mile came out. And I'm not the hugest fan of Eminem, but I seen, oh my God, he can do it. So I'm in elementary school, first and second grade, writing in my little Spider-Man notebook, trying to telling all these kids, battle rap me at recess type shit.
Say a
Ain't
word.
nobody want to smoke. Ain't nobody want to smoke. So, but I mean, I really started taking music seriously when I was a sophomore in high school. That's when I said, I was playing soccer and I was like, I ain't gonna be Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not gonna go pro. So what else? And I said music. I always loved music. I always had a passion for it, always had the ear for it.
What kind
And
of so if you like run it back to being like young, right? So before like 8 Mile comes out, you're still like young, but before that, did you have like an interest in music outside of your dad? Like was your mom's bumping stuff? Like was there like
oh yeah,
what are
yeah.
the kinds
See,
of
my
vibes?
mom, she would listen. I mean, I grew up listening to all type of music. My mom, she lived in Spain. She was a flamenco dancer before I was born. So we were listening to, some Spanish music too, And my pops, he was all big, still big on the 80s stuff like Duran Duran, The Cure, like Tears for Fears and all that, Miami Vice type shit. So I grew up with a lot of diversity with music. I'm not just one track mind, like, just rap, just hip hop. I like, I listen to opera. I listen to anything.
Mm.
Motown, techno, like your pop, like you was talking about with your pops. I listen to like all that. Electronica, the type shit. And motherfuckers be like, well, you from Jersey Shore, you know what I'm saying? Fist pumping and shit.
No, but like I mean I fucks with that. When you were
My
young.
daughter actually, it's ironic you said you were 5 years old. Man, I'll be driving in the car with my daughter. She's 5. She just turned 5, and literally, word for word, she knows all. Drake is her favorite. So Drake is her. She just word for word knows every song of Drake's, and then I'll try and play a song that she hasn't heard before, and I'm like, hey, who's that? And you say Drake, because she knows his voice. 5 years old already knowing that. It blows my mind.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
cool. That's crazy that you're
But she listens. I don't have her listening to like this new crap. I listen to like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin in the car with her. But if I'm listening to hip hop, I mean, we playing Nas, we playing Mobb Deep and all that. So I want her to be grown up cultured. I don't want her to listen to like I got the stick. I fuck your bitch. What kind of culture are you gonna get from that? Everybody's saying the same thing, just differently. They all
mm.
look the same. They all dress the same. They all talk the same. They just, put a different name on it. And,
There is
you
an
know,
argument to be made, and I just like to make this for the sake of it, that if you dig past that top level of greatness in like the 90s, a lot of the guys in the posses were kind of like what we're describing here, like the other
yeah.
guys, like like to the point like the Wu. If you buy like the Riz's manual, like the Wu manual,
Oh,
they
yeah,
got like a
Wu-Tang.
uniform. Like you have to look
Oh,
the
yeah.
same and shit. So I don't always hate
Well,
that.
that's a whole group though. But if you think about like Ghostface and Raekwon and Method Man, they all had their own character.
Mm.
They all played their own
So
role.
what I was thinking though is when you get to like the rest of the woos, because there's like hundreds of them, it gets a little
Well,
bit.
first of all, Shaheem, Rugged Child, Ghostface Killer cousin. I'm actually gonna go up to New York City and get in the studio with him.
Say
So that
word.
man,
That's the one that
I
just had the whole
swear,
situation play out
with the
with
Nori,
yeah.
with Nori.
Say word.
Yes. Yes. So I'm excited about that. I'm just grinding right now, doing what I got to do, stacking up, and then I'm going to make that move. But I'm doing some stuff. I'm still, doing stuff in St.
And
Louis
like
meanwhile.
I don't have no disrespect to the Wu because they're like the worst example of this from a talent perspective, but they're a good
Yeah.
example from a visual perspective of how deep these camps can go, right? Like
Right.
some of them went real deep, and some of the posse cuts revealed to me that maybe not everybody in that era was as distinct. You know, a lot of people wanted to be, but it could be manifested. However, when you get to the content point of view, yeah, I feel like back in the day it was a lot more superhero. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you styled like grandiosity in the bars, and it was more like that kind of focus, which I can see as a
It was
parent.
more. It was a lot more wordplay. It was more clever. It was
Right.
more lyrical. Nowadays, it's so dumbed down, watered down, saturated. It's like, you listen to one rapper, you listen to the other one, they saying the same exact shit.
Mm.
And people buy into it, So it's like, honestly, the whole thing for me is this. Nowadays, you don't have to have talent. You just got to have money. You just got to have money. That's it. Because if you look at even these guys' net worths, they're making money, but they are pure garbage. They're garbage, and they're selling. They're selling shows. They're doing this, and people buy it. So it really doesn't take talent.
It does take a business sense of talent.
I mean, but if you
There's
think
something
about it,
to
then you
it.
got J. Cole and Kendrick.
Like I feel
You
like
got the actual,
so like I hear what you're saying. I definitely think these dudes, a lot of them have talent outside the realms of traditional hip hop talent. A lot of these guys can do melody
yeah.
pocket shit that like I'm jealous of some of these guys'
Oh,
ability.
auto tune helps a lot,
I'm
dude.
talking about just
Auto tune helps.
just like
I could.
beyond the auto tune, because like I mean auto tune can't fix everything, right? Like you actually have to have a degree
Yeah,
of
but you know what
baseline
else?
that's
Okay, so
decent, you
you
know?
say auto tune. You say auto tune though. I get it. Auto tune don't fix everything, but what does? To answer that, a beat. People be listening to the beat nowadays. You could literally say Mary Had a Little Lamb, and the beat is
You do have to
fucking
deliver it real
crazy.
good
They're
though.
gonna they're gonna bob.
You
They're gonna
gotta
bob.
deliver that Mary
What?
had a little. There's a lot more to the delivery. That's the only thing I'm gonna counter back
Oh
on.
yeah.
Cause some of these dudes are able to be like, Mary had a little lamb, and I'm like, bro, I don't know why I like the way you say this so much,
Exactly.
but the way they say it is talent to me.
First of all, you cannot put Drake in any type of conversation with all these other bozos. Drake is a legend.
But
He is a GOAT.
Facts.
And people hate on him, but they are gonna miss him when he's
I
gone.
don't hate on Drake. I'm cool with him.
Oh no, shit. Likewise, I love Drake. And what did you think about
Actually,
that Certified Lover Boy?
I heard it once, so my opinion's trash right now. But I only had one song I felt like super compelled to like. Oh, I gotta put that on my playlist. But I only
Which
heard,
one?
No Friends in the Industry. I heard that one and I was like, say what?
Yeah,
that
was
one,
a good one.
That one slapped real hard. Otherwise, I've heard the I'm Way Too Sexy a couple times. I'm like, I don't know if I'm sold on that one.
And that was a cool one. But Love All with Jay-Z.
Like I have to like listen to it again to know.
Oh my God! Listen to it. You're gonna have to listen to it like 3 or 4 times to grasp it, because Jay-Z is spitting all bars.
I believe it. Like that's why I said it. I only heard it once, so I don't even think I have a real opinion on it yet. But that one track.
Now with Donda, I mean, I listened to a few songs, but I haven't listened to the whole thing, so I can't really say I like one better than the other. I might be biased though, because I really fuck with Drake, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been a fan of Drake.
I see myself finding like 5-6 songs on a Drake album that I really like. but I feel like Donda's one of those experiences where I'm gonna be in the mood for it once a year.
Yeah.
But that once a year, it's gonna be the perfect album, and it'll be like nothing else can be that because it's so like
then again,
out there. It's like, yo, I heard Donda,
right,
and my first thought was,
if you think about it,
it's like this newness.
Like, oh yeah, but if you think about with Kanye, you know, he's living in 2020. I mean, 2030 type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is way ahead of his time, bro. And, you know, if you think about it, like, if Flashing Lights dropped today, like it was a new track, it would blow up the same way it did back then. Because it's timeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about if he never dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and he dropped it now, it's an instant classic. I mean, but people won't appreciate it till years later, you know?
And you know what? I didn't appreciate fuck all about Kanye until years later. Honestly, I did not appreciate the brilliance of that project till like 10 years later, easy. And then I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh, this is some special shit today. Like,
yeah.
I'm cool with all of that too. But I mean,
you know who else though that's just unrelated is, you know, I used to be I'm gonna be honest, I was a hater for Mac Miller. I said, man, fuck this dude, he's trash and this. And then he died and I gave it a chance. And it was like after he died, I started listening to his music and I was like, whoa, he actually got some good tracks. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't listened to enough of it.
And I felt so bad because I was like,
I always respected his artistry. It's just he went in that like sing-songy direction at a time when I wasn't feeling the sing-songy as much. Whereas now, I'd probably feel the project because I feel like my palate's gone more in that direction.
Yeah. I mean, I just like all different types. I just don't like that. Like, I mean, okay, like Lil Pump and Lil Xan and all these, you know what I'm saying? All these dudes, it's just, I can't get with it. It's just like bubblegum shit.
The only thing I can say to that is I love me some bubblegum shit when I'm faded. And
you got to be fucked up. But if you got to be fucked up to like the song, then that says enough.
But at the same time, so like for me, that's how I felt about EDM music until I did some mollies one time in a rave and I got real fucked up. But then like when I sobered up again, it was like, yo, I get it now. Like it's like this like Rosetta Stone unlocked the music. And I feel like I haven't necessarily gotten to a lot of points where, but you know, sometimes it's kind of fun to just be like Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. It's not like good music. It's good turn up music.
I mean, I'll listen to Gucci Mane, but I'm not gonna be going Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
It's sometimes when I want to get into that like high energy shit, it gets there. It's not my go-to, but if it comes on,
no, hell no.
I'm not going to turn it off.
It's not my go-to.
That's what I feel like. It's more like I'm not going to actively turn it off, but because of that, I'm like, okay, I don't hate it.
Well, what I'll say in my case, if I hear anybody play the song, I'm telling them turn it off. Like I'll listen to the street before I listen to that shit.
That's fair. And
I'll put the window down and listen to horns beeping before I listen to that.
And I appreciate that.
I don't listen to country. But I will listen to Tim McGraw or whatever before I listen to Pump or whatever. You know?
I'm just saying, for me, it's like a context thing. I don't know that I've lived.
Well, everybody got their own opinion. So I mean, I can't, knock it. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody likes the same stuff. So I can't say
did not have lasting power. So there might be something to be said.
These guys ain't gonna have longevity, bro. They're fads. Look what happened to 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine is not relevant like he was last year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's still. He's like to me a wild card because he clearly.
You were exactly because he didn't do what he wanted last year, so he backed the fuck off, which was probably the only play he had to stay relevant in the future. Now I'm not like saying I'm promoting him or anything, but that guy's marketing game is pretty A+.
He's a genius.
And so but a lot of these dudes, because I felt that way about Migos once upon a time. And now I'm a pretty huge Migos fan. But also, Migos went from being like 20 to like they turned 27 and 28, and all of a sudden I felt real different as they got older. And so I wonder if some of these dudes are gonna get older and I'm gonna fuck with what they do more.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Out of the three, Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff, let me interview you. Who's your favorite?
I think I like Quavo the most, and I don't have great reasons for it, but it's mostly I like the way his voice sounds. Like when a Quavo hook comes on, it's a good hook.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Migos know how to make good music. But you know what? When Takeoff started making like only like his songs, I was like, damn, Takeoff got some bars.
I always felt he was the most like rapper of the three, and the other two had swag up the ass, and that swag up the ass goes very far.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at Offset. Offset's with Cardi B. But he's in the tabloids like every day.
But even like the music, it's almost like I feel like they do this thing where I'll find like 5 or 6 of these songs in the sea of their music, and I get like addicted to them. So I don't like an album or anything, but I love these singles that I find, and I just can't help it. And then I'm just singing them and shit, and they just kind of have.
I feel like with the Migos, they're all good in their own right. Like all three of them. That's why it works so good, because they all sound, they mesh. They sound good together, but they sound good by themselves too. I mean, I fuck with the Migos.
And you know, Joe Budden doesn't. I fuck with Lil Pump's producer a lot more than I fuck with Lil Pump.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could, because he's the one doing all the work. Come on.
That guy does. He also raps, so like he's pretty solid if I understand. But yo,
Well, I'm gonna have to search who that guy is.
I think it's Deep Perp Smoke or something like that.
You know who Metro Boomin is?
Yeah, that dude's fire.
STL, baby, stand up. We up next. I'm telling you. Yes, he's from St. Louis.
I just know that he ended up in the Gucci Mane studio at some point.
Well, I mean, the goal is to get out of St. Louis.
So, yo,
if you want to end up in Atlanta,
let's run it back to your story then, right? Because as much as we can talk about all sorts of stuff, and this is fun.
Yeah. We getting off topic.
I mean, it's good though to see how you think about things and your opinions on things. So it's not even off topic because it's still you in a sense. But like, so you basically said you grew up in the environment. When you're like young though, are you into other kinds of stuff like dancings or drawings or anything like that?
I mean, yeah. You know, I played sports. I like drawing, and I wasn't much of a dancer, but you know, I just, you know, I played, you know, video games. I always had PlayStation, never had Xbox.
Oh my gosh, so you were like under 10 with a PlayStation. That's why
I had PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and I gotta go get that 5 when I get back home. That's how I said to myself when I get back home.
So what's like the earliest game you can like remember? What's the first game you can remember playing?
Damn. Well, bro, I mean, I was playing like Sega Genesis, like Atari and shit. So I was playing like Galactica and like Tetris and like Pac-Man, and the lasting game that I can remember that really I got into was Vice City, bro. Grand Theft Auto, Vice City.
That's wild.
That's the first club I went to, was the Malibu Club. You feel me? You feel me, bro?
Shit, I think Vice City dropped when I was like high school, later high school.
Oh man, then yeah, you older than me for sure.
Yeah, for 8
because I was like second grade, you know, chopping up Diaz with the chainsaw. Like, this crazy.
So you were like the kid playing the game that the newspaper articles was warning parents would be playing the game.
Precisely.
That's fantastic.
But look at me, man. Look how I turned out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, everybody turned out fine. Everybody played the damn game.
But you know what I'm on right now, though? Is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Is it dub?
Man, that game is addicting. Because it's like GTA, but like the Wild West.
Okay.
You got to get your horses on, you know.
I heard there was like you could do everything and anything in that game. Like in terms of,
yeah, it's expansive world and shit, no doubt.
But yo, when you said with that, when you were 8 or whatever in that same age group playing Grand Theft Auto, you also decided to become a battle rapper, or a little bit after that.
Well, I'm not gonna say I'm a bat. I mean, I watched battle rap like Smack and URL.
But you said
You
you had
know,
watched 8 Mile and then started trying to challenge your little buddies to battles up
but
in.
yeah, I mean, I never wanted to be a battle rapper because that's like a different type of time. You know what I'm saying? But
I guess at the same
just the
time,
love
you
of music.
do you have the internet at that point?
Um, no, I don't think this is before I had the internet. This is like when I was still going to Blockbuster.
Right.
You know, like because I watched 8 Mile from Blockbuster
That's serious stills.
or like Hollywood Video, like one of those. Like when you there was no Netflix like back then, so you kind of get the time period.
So like, but it's also like, cause like the early 2000s is a weird time. Some people be super online and geeked out, and some people be not at all connected to the internet. It's like kind of 50-50. But
Yeah,
but even still, so you were like already interested in pursuing rhyming at that point then.
it was. I mean, I was playing soccer a lot, but I always loved music. You know what I'm saying? I always loved hip hop in general. But then when I got into high school, I started, leaning towards music because I knew I wasn't gonna be professional soccer player. So I said, what else can I do? I always knew I was meant for something bigger than just like, a 9 to 5 or some shit like that. So I said, I'm gonna make music. And then man, I got so many stories about how I would get into studios and I wasn't knowing what the hell I was doing, at young
But
age,
tell
going to
us more
trap
about that.
houses.
No, for real. Because you got to keep in
Which
mind,
said the first
I come from
first
Montreal.
studio,
Most people here
yeah.
have no idea what the fuck it is to be trying to get into studios while you were in high school in St. Louis.
Oh, well, let me tell you, it's an adventure. It's an adventure because what's actually ironic is, so I was a sophomore in high school, and it was me and my buddy, and I was like, man, let's get in the studio, and I had like a learner's permit. I didn't even have my license. I would wait till my dad went to sleep, and I would sneak and take his keys, and I would actually take his strap too, because the studio I was going to, yeah, listen,
Is there
bro,
like open carry and stuff where you're at? Or is St. Louis?
well, it wasn't back then. It is now.
But like back then you were allowed to have a gun or no gun.
I was like
No, I
16,
mean
bro.
like
I
in the
was not allowed
state,
to have a
like
gun.
cause like nobody can have guns
Oh
here. So
yeah,
like nobody has guns here. So it's weird to think about people with guns. But then I
United States is
realized,
different.
yo, everybody can. But then I learned about open carry, and I'm like, say a word. Depending on where you're at, it could get real different.
Yeah, no doubt. So the studio that I was going to was in North City, North Side St. Louis, and it was bad neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So I would go pick up my buddy. I would have the strap underneath the seat just in case something popped off, because I was like, my dad's gonna. It wasn't for me. I was like, my dad's gonna kill me if somebody tries to rob me or steals the car. So I was like, I'm a fucking, you know what I'm saying? I was scared about my dad, not anybody trying to rob me. I was just trying to make music, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we would go to this trap house, and there was a bunch of pit bulls, and but it was like a legit studio. You know what I'm saying? Not like legit, but it was a good setup. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and he was waxing me on the prices. I never got any music out of it. Just the experience of recording and being like, oh, I'm making music. I'm making music. Well, as the years went on, well, that place, the police kicked that in. So that's why I stopped going there, because, it wasn't no more over there. But as time went on, I would meet new people, and then I actually got a car myself. So then I was like, all gas, no brakes. I'm going to do this music show. I'm going to find studios and stuff. So I made it happen. I've been to so many studios. The problem is in St. Louis in particular, specifically with people that got studios, is they all bullshit. And, it's all about it's not like Atlanta. Atlanta, everybody's gonna help each other. They want you, they're gonna put you on. He's gonna put him. So, St. Louis, they want to see you do good, but not better than them. And if that's not the case, they all hating. They all hating. No, fuck you. I'm better than you. I don't care about what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than you, and I'm write a diss track. Well, diss tracks in St. Louis, equals to gun violence. Then you see all these rappers dropping like flies, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old rapping. They do a diss, and then, the people who they dissed get in the car, 5, 4 deep, and go, shoot up the block. It's more than just music. I mean, I ain't got no enemies, but that's just how St. Louis is. But I found good people to work with now, so I don't have that problem. Just growing, getting older, and experiencing more. It's a learning experience. So I took my lumps, you know what I'm saying? I took my L's, but I learned from them, and I know better now. I mean, I'm 25. I've been doing this since sophomore year of high school. So, now I'm going to legit studios, like that are expensive, that Yo Gotti, 2 Chainz, Waka Flocka, Big Boy, they be going, when they come to St. Louis, that's the studio they be going to. It's called Shock City. And then, I got a cinematographer. I actually just got a manager now, a legit manager. It feels so good to say I got a manager. And, just a lot of people around me that it's like pieces to the puzzle, and all the pieces are falling together. It's about time, because I'm 25. I ain't trying to be French Montana 37 and blow up.
No, I hear you. I mean, I'll take it though. I'm 33, so I'll take that shit. 37 blow up? Fuck that. That sounds good now.
But I ain't trying to be, I got energy now. I got the
I hear
stamina
you.
now. You know what I'm saying?
You know what though, with the passion, I feel like you don't really lose it like you would think. Like
No, never.
you can lose it, and I know people do lose it. But since I didn't lose it, I'm pretty convinced people can keep it. Um,
Well, I've seen some people that are really, really dope, and they could have been something, but they just, somewhere down the line, they just lost that drive, the determination, the passion, and just like, they gave it up. And it's sad to see, though. It's sad to see, because it's like, man, you could have been that dude. And it's like, dude, you can't tell them, because it's like, oh, it's not worth it. The industry's this, and people just try and do that, and but if you're always looking at the negative, you're never gonna progress.
so it's like, I guess for me, it's like with the internet, it's like wildly I'm ambitious with it because there's so much more potential. Like a guy I met in Pakistan 8 years ago, I went with work, just dropped a single. I'm like, bro, we should do a track. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never fucking know with the internet what could fucking
Yeah.
happen. And I saw him doing his shit, and I'm like, say a word. Or like just the idea that I'm talking to you, if this was just like local, or if this was even 10 years ago, the likelihood of being able to talk to a person from St. Louis is like a lot less viable. You would have had to have come to
Well,
Montreal for me to even be able to do something like that.
should I come up to Montreal?
Yeah.
I got the plug on flights, bro. Southwest Airlines. I could fly anywhere Southwest. We could go to London.
I mean, I don't know if I got the same plug, but like, I don't know, because I found flying out of Canada is way more expensive than everywhere.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about everywhere, maybe, but I feel like we're not the best when it comes to the flying prices. However,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's nifty. Once the COVID is done, my goal is to get around more and find a way to make that more monetizable, whether it be via shows or content. But there's a lot of potential for, and that's the thing. It's like you can, in theory, just document your journey and turn that into a revenue stream, and like leverage social medias and shit in ways that could never really be like done before. And
Yeah, no doubt, man.
but like, let's say we go back to that. So in that period of like making all that music, I know you have the few songs that are out now, but do you have other tracks and mixtapes and things you've made along the way that are just like not available these days?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the last dude I was working with, um, make a long story short, dude was he was a fool. He was a clown. You know what I'm saying? And I was carrying the weight, on my back like a camel. And I ended up finding new people to work with. I gave him chance after chance after chance. Dude's an alcoholic and all this shit. Popping pills. And I was like, bro, I can't do it no more. I'm not gonna go nowhere. Where I plan to do. I can't do this if I'm messing with you. So, I parted ways with him, and then he took all my videos off because they were all uploaded on the channel that he made. So I was like, I bet. which is a blessing in disguise because, you know, I got a lot of stuff in the works. You know, when I get back in town, I'm getting another studio session and I'm about to drop more shit. Then I got a music video shoot I'm gonna do, and it's just like, you know, things happen for a reason. I'm not taking it as a loss. It's his loss though, because then I'm gonna blow up and he's gonna be like, "Oh man, I used to work with him." They're gonna go, "Oh, where?" Well, then he looking like a goofy because he took everything down.
Right.
So, but I mean, yeah, I got a lot of stuff. I'm dropping a demo EP, 5 or 6 tracks, and it sounds like all different, you know, all different flavors. Every song is different, you know, and um, just trying to drop out new content, music videos, and then I'm gonna start doing some college tours around the states. You know, I like to go, you know, first of all in Missouri, you know, hit Illinois. I'm just gonna, you know, rent a Sprinter van and take all my boys and go do some shows.
Yeah, how do
You
you set
know,
that up?
that's how Biggie and Pac. You said what?
How do you set that up, like logistically? Like you could just like, do you have to like know the right people, or because your manager gonna
Oh
go run
man,
that?
yeah, that's why you got a manager. You know, that's why you got a manager. If hey, it feels good to say I got a manager, like talk to my manager, because I never had that before. I was always, you know, on my own, and I'm supposed to be focused on the art, you know, the music. I can't be doing 3, 4 things at once. You know, then it's like, what's the use? That's why you need a manager and, you know, all this stuff.
Well, I hear
But I
that.
got my boys. I got my boys with me. You know, they ain't even got a rap, but they just gonna, you know, ride with me. I'm gonna take my, you know, little bit. St. Louis going everywhere. I'm taking all my boys, and they know. See, even going on the road now, motherfuckers will look at you and they know you from out of town. Like they could just smell it or something. You know what I'm saying? And then when you ask, you know, they ask. I'm like, I'm from St. Louis. I'm like, oh, word. People always think I'm from New York City. They say, you from Brooklyn? You
Bro,
from
I
Bronx or
fucking
something?
swear, I thought you were from New York City, and then I double and checked it, and
Everybody.
I was like, oh shit, I'm glad I double checked that. I almost wrote Brooklyn or something.
hey, hey, I love New York. That's the goal. That's where I'm gonna end up. I love New York City. Love New
Have you
York.
been before?
But I'm just Italian. No, I never been. Never. I've been in Chicago more times than I can count. But I've never been in New York City, and I plan to do that and get with Shaheem. Maybe I'll
Mm,
see Ghostface. Man, that would be a dream to see Ghostface.
I understand that. Have you like done a lot of performing?
Oh yeah, I've done a bunch of shows and out of state too. So I mean, I like doing shows.
Tell us a bit about your experiences performing in different places.
Well, I'll give you this one situation. I was with this clown ass dude I used to make music with, the one that took all my music off, and we go into this venue. It was called Mystic Grill. It was like a club, and they almost didn't let dude get inside the venue. Like he was mad embarrassing, bro. Like bugging out, and I had to just like, it wasn't funny then though.
I mean,
And
I
then
hear you, but it's not so much that it's funny. It's the way you describe it that makes me laugh.
right. So anyway, so I ended up because like the security guard was like really doing, you know, I thought he was about to throw dude in the parking lot. I'm like, man, this is a bad look, bro. So I just like got away from him. I went around the back of the venue and went in by myself. So I'm in there chilling. Dude's blowing on my phone. They're not letting me in. They're not letting me in. I'm not even worried about it because I'm by myself in this venue. I don't know nobody from a can of paint. And then he gets in miraculously. I don't know how. And I'm waiting to go on stage. Mind you, I'm by myself. Now, prior to me getting on the stage, before me it was like 7, 8 motherfuckers on stage, lit, just jumping around, bopping, going crazy. You know, group of guys. And I come on next after them. They walk off and I come on by myself, solo dolo, right? And as soon as my instrumental, my song, they hand me the mic. Now I'm not even ready. Nervous as hell, right? Nervous and pissed at the same time. I was mad because this dude leaving me out here butt naked. I don't know nobody. I ain't got no support. I'm on my own, like in the middle of the ocean without a paddle, right? So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, right? Hand me the thing, instrumental goes off. I start going, listen to my tape, and I see all about Gambino. Everybody bomb rush the stage. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit, they fucking with me. So I killed it by myself. Now, mind you, after 7, 8 motherfuckers was on stage going crazy, mediocre. I come on by myself, and motherfuckers like, damn, who is this dude? So I'm going crazy. I do my whole set. My thing was over with. I walk around the back of the stage because that's how you get off. And then it goes back to the bar, like to the whole venue, to the club. And random motherfuckers coming up to me, dapping me up. Oh, you dope, and this and that. You killed it, and all this. And me, I'm beelining straight for this clown because we Ubered there. I don't know if you got Uber over there
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Canada.
of course, yeah.
So I beeline straight to this dude, and he's over here trying, drunk as fuck. And I was like, call the Uber. I'm ready to go. And he was like, what you talking about? Everybody's fucking with you. And I was like, yeah, they fucking with me, not you. Look at you. You look like a mess. So then one of the dudes that was on stage before me out of the 7, he comes up to me and says, hey, man, that was dope and shit. I could not even enjoy my moment. Like actually soaking it in and enjoying people coming up to me saying, damn, you dope. And what's your name? And what's this? Because I was so pissed. And I think that made it even better, me performing, because I was coming in there with that aggression. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I go beeline straight to this dude. I'm like, call the Uber. I'm ready to fucking go. He's like, let's stay. And this and that. I'm like, nah, bro. I mean, he popped the X pill right when we got into the club. I mean, dude's a goofy. That's why I stopped fucking with him. So he felt some type of way. He took all my videos off YouTube. His loss.
Yeah, that's wild. I wasn't. I didn't even know where the story was gonna go. I was just curious because you'd be touring up in the States and it's mad different. But that's
Yeah.
serious, like a story though. I mean, there's definitely a time and a place to pop a X, and it doesn't sound like that was the right time nor place.
Well, think about it. He is supposed to be representing
Exactly.
me. He's supposed to be basically, you know, behind me, got my back, on top, A1, and he was over here a mess. But it was nothing new with this guy. And I did the thing, and it's just I couldn't even enjoy my moment. That was one of the best performances I did. Was that performance, and it was because I was pissed. To be honest, I was angry.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you need to find a way to get mad now when you perform.
Hey man, I don't know. Maybe I talk to some females because females always be pissing me off, bro.
That can happen in life sometimes.
Yeah, so but no, man, this music makes me happy, bro. It's just these fools, like that dude, But I don't let that affect me. I know, but I got the right people around me now. Let's just put it that way. So that's not gonna happen anymore.
I
But
mean,
this is you got to think. This was like 3 years ago, like 2 years ago.
you gotta. I think you and I don't even see it in the same lens, right? Because like to me, it's like you went touring. That's dope. Even if some of the
Yeah, yeah.
experiences along the way and the relationships and the
Oh yeah. I
consequences
mean,
were problematic, the fact is,
right.
I mean, you still got to go out there and do it. You have performed. You got that real life
Well,
shit.
hell yeah. And but some of the shows that this dude set up for me, he was talking them up, like he talked to the promoter and everything, and then we'd get to the venue and it was bogus, bro. It was bogus, and I was so pissed.
What do you mean
So
by
it's
like
not.
bogus in this context?
I mean, not anybody even different city. Nobody really knows who I am, And he's saying, "Oh, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be hype and this and that." And it's like 4 or 5 motherfuckers, standing around. It's not even nothing. I'm like, man, we came all the way from St. Louis for this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't. Excuses, excuses.
Yeah, I mean, I like if it was local. I mean, fair enough. I could see it's not the hugest deal, but like if you're
because you
traveling,
go home in 20 minutes.
yeah. But traveling, I could see how yeah, I would be a little irked if I'm being told to go out to the next city and then it's a problem.
And then I'm driving the whole way back home. This dude is snoring. I'm pissed. I'm just trying to get back home. This dude, I'm going 110 all the way back to St. Louis in this in the rain. You know what I'm saying? I'm pissed. And then guess what happens? This dude, it's totally irrelevant, but I was driving the whip, and the whole time from Kansas City back to St. Louis, and it was just a slight thing. And I was driving all the way back in pouring rain. I'm talking about semis and everything. I'm just going. This dude wakes up the next morning, goes a block away from his crib, and totals his car. That says enough about this guy. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna give him the promo. You
Nah,
know what I'm
at this
saying?
point, it's not worth saying his name. That crosses into different
I
territory.
know, but you will see how I didn't even say his name.
Nah, it's like that's yeah. Like I'm like fair enough. Say what you got to say about your experience. That's all cool. Saying his name's not that. It's not worth it. But still, I look at it like that's cool that you get to go to Kansas City and rap. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from Montreal, right? But like pretty much all those American cities are just like I don't know the same. They're not all the same for sure, but like this sea of cool places that you get to go to with a
Yeah,
lot more
like
ease.
cities, Kansas City was all right, but Atlanta, New Orleans, Florida's dope a lot. Miami, you know, I haven't really been up to East Coast though, to New York. New York City, Jersey, Philadelphia fucking with me. They wanted me to come up and do shows there, but it just wasn't it didn't make sense for me at the time. Boston too. I got a lot of people in Boston fucking with me. That's my demographic is the East Coast. But I get some love in like, Cali, LA and stuff. It's so far from St. Louis, from the Midwest, going all the way out to the West Coast.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's pretty far. But even then, like, I guess it's kind of like one of those things where if you have to fly or it takes more than a day to drive, or even, I'd say like 6 hour radius, it gets complicated.
Right, right. No doubt.
But like, when do you think you'd go to New York? How far is it?
Well, man, I just got off all this legal shit that I was going through. I wasn't able to even leave the city, and now I'm obviously I'm out here traveling, but I'm traveling out here for work right now. But I'm thinking this COVID stuff really got to die down because I'm not going to go out. It's going to take away from the experience going out to New York City, especially with all the restrictions they got over there. You got to, proof of vaccination. I ain't going to get no vaccination no time soon.
Right.
So I don't know how it is in Canada, but United States with this
So
Biden.
they just basically so Canada it's like they bumped it to the provincial level, so it can speak for Quebec. They have a passport in place where anything non-essential requires it to go inside. So it was really weird seeing it play out now because it went live on the 15th. So like we went to this festival, and it was an outdoor festival, so you could see this like fence, so you could like see the festival from outside. It wasn't like excluded like that, but really to go inside required the passport, and then you go inside the festival and it's like you're inside and then you're looking at the people on the fence, and if your boy's not vaccinated, he can't come in type thing. Like literally one of the performers, his partner, they're like a beat group, he couldn't go in, so he's watching from the back on the side kind of thing, and his boy. And what's crazy is if you're a performer, it's baked into all these contracts that you don't have to prove vaccination on some Quebec law shit because under the law your employer's not allowed to ask you if you're vaccinated. So you can't prove vaccination. So like you can.
Wow.
So as a performer, you don't have to provide the proof of vaccination at this time. It'll probably change.
Man,
So
I would love to go to Toronto or like Quebec, Montreal, even Vancouver.
I have never been to Vancouver. I would really like to, but
What about Calgary?
I mean, I guess it's just not high on the list relative to other
What
places.
what about like Saskatchewan or Saskatchewan or some
Saskatoon.
shit?
Same kind
Whatever
of
the
thing.
hell.
Like,
Hey,
I
let me
never
ask you,
thought, like,
bro.
okay, here's the answer. I never think about Saskatoon unless it's crime related, because unless something bad happens, you never hear about Saskatoon.
They got some crazy names over there in Canada, huh?
There's a lot more indigenous influence in our naming that went on, I think.
So, hey, I'm a huge like. See, I'm about to start this YouTube channel, like this podcast, and like doing skits and stuff. I know that you've heard of Nelk.
Nelk? How do you
You
spell?
never heard of Nelk boys?
Nah.
Nelk. They're from Canada, bro.
Canada's got 35 million people. There's a lot of
But
Canadians.
bro, it's, after we get off this call, go search up Nelk. Them boys is crazy. Like I'm hooked.
What
Like
kind of stuff
their
do they do?
content is they do. They go to like, but they're all in the United States though. They come to the United States and fuck with us.
Amazing.
Like they go to like, oh yeah, these guys are so creative with their shit. I mean, and they're getting money, bro. I mean, they're really doing it right. They're so funny. I mean, how can you not like them? But they're from Canada. You
Like,
know what I'm
what kind
saying?
of content do they make? Like, how do they?
Oh, it's like parody skits and stuff. It's funny. It's like comedy.
Okay.
It's dope. Yeah, Nelk, Nelk.
Yeah, I could see how you end up in the States for a while doing that kind of shit. It's it,
Yeah, those it's dope, and they be their podcast is called Full Send, and they do like Logan Paul and Dana White. They met Trump, like they went and met Trump, like those guys. If you meeting Trump, then you got some status. These guys got like 1.4 million followers, which isn't a lot, but they just like started. So it's
I
like,
mean,
damn, these dudes.
1.4 million followers is a lot, even if it's not a
Yeah,
super
no,
lot. I'm just gonna
but it's
say
a lot.
that's like that's a lot. If I had 1.4 million followers, I don't think I'd have a day job anymore.
No, they getting paid for this shit for sure. If you go on YouTube and search Nelk, they will knock your socks off because you're gonna be laughing, your stomach's gonna be hurting, bro.
But
But I'm gonna do that with some St. Louis boys because we got it different. Like you know what I'm saying? We a little bit hood type shit. We a little bit, coming from St. Louis, ain't nobody do that shit. But we got a lot of ideas that it's gonna be funny. But at the same time, they're gonna look, and say, oh, that guy makes music. You know what I'm saying? Me, and search my shit, and I'm actually pretty, if I do say so myself, I'm pretty decent. So it just all goes full circle. I want all my boys to win. That's why I tell everybody we work together, we all eat.
you
You
de-
know what I'm saying?
you definitely come off like you're connected to the mob, and I believe a little bit on that hitman angle more than
I don't want to talk, but that's my lawyer advised me not to speak on that. That
Yeah, no, I'm not even trying to pry into the realities of it. I'm saying that's what I heard in the
no
song.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Not that like, man, I'm not that kind of like.
No, I know. I mean, it's cool. I mean, everybody, it's synonymous with Italians. Oh, you in the mob? You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Well,
I'm
maybe I
saying
am.
in your bars you were like, I'm connected. Da da da. I think like
Oh yeah.
one of the tracks you
Well,
particularly reference OGs and everything. Yeah, I listened to the shit,
no
so I'm
doubt.
like quoting you.
Well, one thing I said was, went to the priest like I got a question. If I go to church and I do confession, tell me, do wise guys go to heaven? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I appreciate the
Wise
vibe,
guys, good
but it
fellas.
just
You.
also like something else I saw, and I didn't watch all of it, but I just turned on for a quick second this interview you did, and you were talking about,
Oh, a Remrod.
you were like conserving. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what a remrod is, but your music videos are there.
No, that's my cinematographer, Remrod.
Oh, say word. That's cool.
That's his name.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. But that makes sense. But he did an interview with you, and I heard you saying some stuff about conserving Italian culture and something something,
Oh
and I
yeah.
thought that was
Yeah, no
nifty.
doubt.
Like what?
Well, I'm passionate about that, because it's nowadays people really not they don't have pride in their, heritage and stuff. It's Americanized. Maybe it's just because I'm Sicilian 100%, mom and dad side. But you get, in St. Louis, we got the hill. And that's literally considered America's last Little Italy. Because if you go to like New York City to Little Italy, it's all Chinatown now. Ain't you don't see no Chinese people, no Indian, nothing against them, but you don't see no nail shops and no this and that. It's all Italian, and it's gonna stay that way. Ain't nobody come to our neighborhood. Now I can't speak for New York City because they all, it's getting smaller and smaller. Think about it. Mulberry Street. It used to be all Italians, mom and pop places. Now it's like nail salons, Vietnamese and shit. So
So,
not in the hill.
so you're saying, like, in a literal sense, the cultural pockets of, like, I guess the of Italian centers within places are disappearing in a literal sense.
Yeah, it's not as prominent as it used to be, but not on the hill. The hill it's not going nowhere, and ain't nobody doing what I'm doing. That's my neighborhood. That's it. When I want people to go to the hill, tourists, and say, "Oh, am I going to see Frankie G over here?" You know what I'm saying? Am I going to see him over here? Because it's just like I want my neighborhood. I'm going to put money into my neighborhood. It's beautiful. If you come here to St. Louis, which I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to come to St. Louis. Fuck around, get robbed or killed. But if you come to the Hill in St. Louis, it is a tight knit neighborhood community, all Italians, bakeries, restaurants, and it keeps on getting nicer and nicer, lofts being built and stuff. But you're not going to see you know, it's always the same. And it's generation after generation after generation. So I keep it all in the neighborhood. And that's all me. Ain't nobody doing what I'm doing. Take it for this. In Southside St. Louis, State Streets, we call it. You got one block over here, and they're repping this. You go a walking distance to the next block, and they're repping this. Now they both rep, and they're fighting over, they're killing each other. I don't got no ops. I don't got no enemies. I'm not sharing. I'm not fighting with nobody. From Southwest to Daggett and Marconi, the Hill, it's all me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Nobody got that. So I feel like I got a niche. I think I'm gonna take the flame and run with it because ain't nobody got that. Now I will say I would like to go to Little Italy in New York City. It's a dream, but I guarantee I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna be like, this ain't nothing. This ain't like the Hill.
I don't know. I just picture because I do a show like this, exactly this, but with a guy from New York, and he's
Oh
in
yeah.
Bronx. Now I don't know what he'd say about Little Italy, but I know for a fact that his attitude is psh, everybody says shit like that till they come to New York City.
Oh, bro, no, don't get me twisted. I got mad love. Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn. I fucking love New York City, bro. Philly, Boston, but specifically New York City. I mean, I'll be wearing Yankee stuff in St. Louis, and they be like, "Why don't you wear Cardinals shit like St. Louis Cardinals?" I'm like, "Cause I like New York." And they be, "What, you from New York?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm from St. Louis." So I said, when I go to New York, I'll wear Cardinals
So
shit.
so
When I'm in St. Louis,
what makes you so interested in New York over some of the other
man, come.
places you could want?
I mean, the history. Need I say less? I mean, and I'm so East Coast oriented. My demographic is there. I mean, my top 20 is all New York East Coast. Jay Z, Nas, Biggie, Guru, Gangstar. You know what I'm saying? Prodigy. All them New York. All Wu Tang and all that shit. I mean, I could keep on going, but it's just all New York.
Right.
All New York. I got love for New York, so I'm not gonna go to Little Italy and go. Psh. Well, I'm definitely gonna be like, hey, it ain't like the Hill though. It ain't like the Hill.
Right.
Now I guarantee you that.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know enough about it. I would imagine in Montreal, it's definitely more in the lane of it's not what it used to be, because the whole city's not what it used to be.
I would love to visit Montreal.
Yo, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I would encourage you to come to Montreal. It's probably like Toronto's fun if you know somebody there that can help you have fun. I went to Toronto without help. It was weird, man. Like you're gambling. Everywhere you go is a gamble, and you don't have a guide, and
Yeah.
everything's really far apart in that city.
Well,
But
I'll tell you
Montreal is
what. If I
compact. It's litty up here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I go to Toronto, I'm going there with the intent to get in the studio or at least have dinner with Drake.
Right.
I ain't gonna go to Toronto for no other reason. If I go to Montreal, I'm gonna fuck with, you know, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Well,
You know
bro,
what I'm
you
saying?
can just. I'm just saying,
Montreal.
you can just come to Montreal for fun,
Yeah.
and the shit's worth coming to.
Well, and I know a little. I got family in France too,
C'est
in
vrai.
Marseille. So parlez-vous français? Comme tout dépend.
Yo, moi, je parle français. Tu ne parles pas ici.
Yeah, you know.
Nah, you gotta.
So I know a little bit.
Nah, it's actually yo. If you walk into stores here and you make an effort to speak French, it's a lot easier than if you don't make an effort to speak French in some parts of town.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did 1 year of French class in school, but I got an aunt that lives in France and she's Italian, but she speaks mostly French.
Right.
So,
Just
I've learned bits and pieces enough to carry a conversation. I'm not fluent by no means. I'm more Italian. I mean, I know Italian,
bro, if you can
but
survive a conversation in French, you will have twice as much fun here than if you than otherwise. I'm not even gonna.
hey,
Not to say that
I
you wouldn't
bet
have
the
fun,
females.
bro.
I bet the females are. Come on, tell me if the females are probably very beautiful over there.
I mean, I'm a huge advocate of our reputation of having attractive ladies up inside this place, but yeah, I
No
would
doubt.
argue that the summertime can be distracting sometimes, and I'm like behaved and shit, but yo, that like first cause half this time you're in cold land, so it's fucking freezing, so everybody's
Yeah.
bundled up. And it feels like there's a direct response to being bundled up for half the year that takes place in the summer where people wear a lot less clothing and it's wildly humid. So it's really fucking hot. But in general, yeah, I don't know. I guess healthcare and shit that's free plays off over time. Free healthcare is
No doubt. Well,
wonderful.
shit. I'll tell you what. When I start really getting out here traveling, I'm gonna have to fly. I'm not gonna drive to no Canada, but I'll come up to Montreal, bro. I'll get an Airbnb or something, and we could. You got studios over there, right?
I mean, yeah, but most of us are doing the home studio thing. But yeah, there's studios up there. I have friends that got shit. Like my
No
boys.
doubt.
Not. I have like a few options that are out here. Yeah. But honestly, a lot of us be doing the home studio thing. Like I just fucking record here for the most part.
Oh shit! Then that's all you need. What kind of system you work off? Like Fruit Loops and shit, or like Pro Tools? Because I
Not.
like Pro
So
Tools.
I don't do any of the engineering shit. So for me, I use Reaper, because Reaper was like
Oh, okay.
$60 back in the day, and I was like,
Wow.
say a word, and then I got the license for work because like my company got it, and then I just technically I use it for work sometimes back in the day. So I just been using that because they got it, and it like has all the plugins. It's actually like I don't know why people sleep on Reaper, especially if you're not really gonna get that deep into like anything but your voice. Like if all you're ever gonna fuck with is your voice, Reaper is like fucking
Yeah.
amazing. It's got anything you could need. You could download whatever plugins you want, and like it does all the shit that Pro Tools can do, and it plugs into shit like OBS, like Pro Tools does. So like it gives you like the
No
power to
doubt.
like modify your voice and then run it through like a video stream or something. So like
Well, that would be dope, man. I've always actually wanted to go to Canada. I always like thought about someday I'm gonna go to Canada, Montreal specifically because of all that Rizzuto stuff. I'm just intrigued by that Rizzuto stuff, man. I could go on for days. You got to watch Bad Blood on Netflix. There's 2 seasons now.
that's fair. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
I'm gonna definitely peep it. I mean, I'll see if it's here first. If we have it in Canada, then yeah. Otherwise, I have to inevitably get on that VPN shit. Cause
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing sometimes.
but honestly, yeah, the Rizzuto stuff's wild. Cause just some of those things went down in my neighborhood, right? Like
That's
I know for
crazy.
a fact somebody.
His son got killed too. Vito Rizzuto's son and Vito got killed, and the dad got killed. They all got killed.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, cause it all played out. It was like over the span of years. I don't remember like. I don't remember it all like vividly, but you remembered like seeing the news articles and shit. But it was wild because there was like the lesser stories, and those shit was like playing out at like the McDonald's by the crib. Like it wasn't like super
Hey,
far away shit. It was like, yo, this is actually going on in my neighborhood. That's why it was like
that's
really.
ridiculous.
There's definitely at one point in my life, I'm working at a Dunkin' Donuts. And
Dunkin' Donuts.
and this dude walks in.
What about Tim Hortons?
I really don't like Tim Hortons. I mean, I just
Yeah,
their coffee's weak, and I mean, if the donuts are fine, I mean, like at that tier, donuts are all the same to me. There's like really good donuts, and then there's that kind of donuts. Like there's two tiers of donuts, but I'm
yeah.
working there, and
I feel like you and I are the type you and I are the type we could talk for hours and hours, bro.
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna fuck with you, bro. You seem like a real cool dude.
yeah. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I just had to say it. But I gotta get back over here and finish this job because we're gonna head on the road
Right.
and go back to St. Louis too. So
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming through and giving us the time you had. I know you said you were in the middle of your shit, so I'm glad that you made it work out the way that you did.
man, I always, I like doing that. I don't like bullshitting and saying I'm gonna do one thing and don't do it. That's my pet peeve, bro. If you say what you mean what you say.
Mm.
Even if, I told you I'll figure it out, make it work. So
And you did exactly that, and I appreciate that still, because you're super interesting, dude. And a lot of your, I like people who are able to like carry on that conversation as much as like tell their story, but like to be able to have the insight to like kind of bring it in different directions with it. So I appreciate that for sure. It'd be great to have you back in
no
the
doubt.
future when you're able to do
Oh
it.
yeah, bro, no doubt. I would talk to you for another 2-3 hours, but I gotta get back to work and shit.
Nah,
You
it's
know,
mad priorities. But yo, thank you for coming through. Everybody, links will
no
be in
doubt.
description. Make sure to follow them and do all that good stuff. Thank y'all for watching for real. We appreciate you coming through. For those of you on the live, that's dope. For those of you watching in the future, like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. On that note, everyone, I do appreciate you coming. Do you have any last words to say to the fine folk out there?
Shit, man, just be on the lookout. I'm about to start dropping some more stuff. When I get back to St. Louis, I'm about to get in the studio, so you're gonna see more content. I'll probably go on. I never go on live or nothing like on Instagram or nothing, but I'll put some stuff out. I'm gonna take some pictures, and I got some videos coming out. So
Fresh.
all a matter of time, bro. You can't rush greatness. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, man. It was great chatting with you, though. Yo,
No doubt.
live long and prosper, everyone.
No doubt, my guy. All right, 100, bro.